let's try a story problem. This story problem says, a muffin recipe requires 2 3/4 cups of milk. How many quarts of milk do you need to make double the number of muffins? Okay, so I have a picture because I know that I am measuring with cups. It says that my muffin recipe requires 2 3/4 cups. It wants me to change that to quarts, and I know that because it says how many quarts of milk do you need. But it also says that we're going to make a double number of muffins. So double means 2. I need to add 2 plus 3/4 plus 2 3/4, or I can just multiply 2 3/4 times 2. Since it's just two numbers, I'm going to go ahead and do that with adding. Since both of my denominators are the same, I can just go ahead and add this. So 2 plus 2 is 4, and then my 3/4 plus 3/4 is going to be 6/4. That is a fraction greater than 1, so I know that I can change it to make it a different mixed number. So I think, how many times does 4 go into 6? Well, it goes in once, so I'm going to add that 1. So now I have 5 and 2/4. Well, I got the 2/4 because when I subtract 4 minus 6, I have 2 left over. So that's where I got my numerator of 2, and my denominator stays the same because I'm still using with those fourth pieces. So now I can simplify this even more, because if I look at 2, 2 can go into 2 one time, and it can go into 4 two times. So my final answer is going to be 5 1/2 cups is how many cups it's going to take to make this double recipe. Well, now I need to find out how to convert when I convert 5 1/2 into quarts. So let's take a look at our chart again. Okay, let me find 1 quart on my chart. I found it, did you? Here it is right here. Here is our 1 quart. So I need to look and see how many cups it takes to get to 1 quart. So I go over, it takes 4 cups. Well, I know that I'm going from a small measurement to a big measurement. That means I'm going to move to the left. Moving to the left means that I divide. I need to make these units smaller because I'm going to do it to a bigger unit. A quart is a bigger unit of measurement than a cup. So I know that I need to divide. Okay, so I've written out my division problem. I know that 5 1/2 cups, that's my total. So that's my total, so it's going to be my dividend. And 4 is the groups that I need to put in to see how many I can get. So 4 is my divisor. So I have 5 1/2 divided by 4. Now the first thing I need to do is change my mixed number into a fraction. Okay, I did my cartwheel with my fraction. I did 5 times 2 is 10, and then I added my 1, and so I have 11 halves for my new fraction. I changed that mixed number into a fraction. Now I have divided by 4. Now, do you remember our little trick that we used? We can use our keep, change, flip. So I'm going to keep my fraction, and I'm going to change my division to multiplication. Okay, I changed my division to multiplication, and then I flipped my 4 over 1, because that would be a whole 4 pieces, and I flipped it to 1/4. Now I can just multiply across, which is kind of hard to see in our picture, but we are going to do it anyway. So if you think about it, I'm going to put my answer in this box. Got to change my font here. Thank you for being patient. Okay, so my numerators, let's do our numerators first. 11 times 1 is 11. 2 times 4 is 8. So now I have 11/8. Now I just need to switch that to a mixed number. So if I Think about it. I think, how many times does 8 go into 11? Well, it definitely goes in one time. That would take 8 pieces out. So I take 11 and I take away my 8 pieces. That leaves me 3 pieces left. Well, these are pieces, these aren't wholes. So I have 3 1/8 size pieces. So I'm going to have my 3 as my numerator because that's how many pieces I have. And 8 are the size of the pieces I have. So my answer is that it takes 1 3/8 quarts of milk to make my muffin recipe. So I've changed my cups into quarts.